Was it audible? Did it catch him?
It was audible.
That's when the engine is turning off. My precast cough. We are going to go into the losers match now. I do feel that Losira did not, or was not able to exhibit how good he actually is because he got beyond.
Yeah.
He went to Reaper Town.
Yeah.
Just passed Reaper Way.
He was not coming back from that. So this right now, Losira had to be hoping that Bjorn would advance in first place because even if he beats Forte, the way that Bjorn just manhandling with Reapers, will we see anything different? I don't know. But Forte is really strong TVZ right now. Again, he knocked out Bjorn, who Bjorn is absolutely one of the very best Zergs on Earth, and he is not in Code S because of Forte.
That's
so
right.
This is going to be hard for Losira, but it's not going to be as hard as Bjorn.
Let's see what Losira can do this time around. I don't think this game's going to look at all like what the Bjorn games were.
No, I think this is actually going to be quite a nice series.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one where we actually get to see like a normal TVZ. We're going to start this off on Odyssey. And remember, the winner of this match goes up against Bjorn next, so that's a very tall order. I am curious to see how Forte's TVT is, because from the games I've seen of his TVT, he's not bad at all.
Yeah. He's a good Terran. He's, there's so many good Korean Terrans that it's like hard to even put a number on what is he, the 11th best Terran? I don't know, but
All right, guys, let's go. One of these two players is about to be knocked out of the GSL Code S.
You could tell them that you tried, but there ain't no going back. They'll never catch
me. In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
Losira.
And in the upper left, in the red, he is
Forte.
Okay, so I just want to like theorize something real quick, and I do not know because I did not get. Oh my God, is it going to be 3X Reaper?
Oh, it's going to be 3X Reaper.
Well, I guess that throws a lot of my ideas out the window. But Biel lost, right? To Forte, and Biel's style is very Mutalisk heavy. Very, very Mutalisk heavy. He's addicted to Mutalisks, and people's styles they generally go with. So that could have been why, but Losira plays a completely different style. He likes ground units. He likes roaches. Sometimes he likes hydras, stuff like that. So I actually think Losira might have a decent chance of beating Forte here. But anyways, Reaper time.
Yeah, I like that. You said he's addicted to Mutalisks. Biel is totally addicted.
Yeah.
They had to give him Mutadome just to get him off the original Mutas.
Yeah. He had to go to Muta 1 meetings.
Yeah.
To try to switch over his style of roaches.
Anonymous.
Yeah. He had to get some roach gum to figure this out.
The roach patch.
Yeah. He had to share his stories about times he went Mutas and Thor's hit him.
Yeah.
And then Thor's also had +2 armor. And it was like, oh.
Okay. Now, the big question is, of course, will this look remotely as well and as clean as when Bjorn does it?
Well, no, not compared to Bjorn, but how good will it look? Is you know, like
I will say, fortunately for Losira, he's definitely warmed up against this style of play.
Yeah, I guess that's a way to put it. Like, he's been fighting against Reapers all morning, and these Reapers will not feel like Bjorn's. And if they do, then we got someone who might win the GSL this season.
The unit's been stopping Losira from getting the layer tech here.
Yeah.
He knows all these great things he can do in late game and mid game. He just has to get there. He has to last that long.
Getting a little bit of contact there.
The real thing to watch for when the Reapers start to come out is where exactly do the players, or does the Terran player throw the grenades?
Yeah. We shall see. Those grenades will start coming out here in a moment. It's going to start whittling down everything Losira has.
It's important to appreciate, too, when the players save their grenades to make sure their Reapers are going to be safe later on. Okay, now, this is going to be a mistake if he tries to come up here.
Oh, a couple grenades.
Oh!
Connects with one of them there, and is actually picking off a decent amount of lings before speed finishes, so good timing on that, for sure.
Oh, wow, look at the
it's good micro by Losira.
Yeah, he completely ran over the mine.
Yeah.
Now the other Reapers come in here. Does get a kill. Nicely done. Uh oh, this is not looking that good for Losira.
Double-pronged Reaper harass. All right. A lot of lings being made now. Now, this is where Bjorn really makes his name with Reapers, is when you have like a million billion lings. That just is more Lings for him to hit with grenades, whereas everyone else gets surrounded and dies. So let's see how he does with that.
He's coming down here now. Now, see, those are not the same kind of grenades that Beyond has. Well, that was, there you go. If you can get that perfect hit in the middle, where half the Lings come towards you and you shoot them down, they're already softened up. The other half are far away enough that they can't back up. The Lings that have already been jutted towards the Reapers, you're in good shape.
He's going up to 5 Raxes while actually getting +1. So we've seen some players do this, specifically Beyond, in fact. It's going to give him a ludicrous amount of bio, and he has a lot of Reapers still out there. Still making those Reapers, in fact. Imagine that, Reapers with +1.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a sight to see. I do appreciate the fact that Forte doesn't try to do everything exactly at once. He actually sends the Reapers back for a second to make sure he can keep them in the game. And the Lings counterattacking here, if I'm Forte, I'm going right into the Zerg's base.
Checks for a third base.
I'm looking at this game with dollar signs in my eyes, saying I'm that much closer to winning a GSL.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't really tech. Oh, it looks like maybe he was trying to catch these Lings on the way back. Does get a few kills there, which is nice. But Roachwarren's about to finish, so... And he's still only making Reapers. 5 racks Reaper.
Well, I believe if you have enough
2010
Reapers,
returns.
Yeah. The Ghost of Maka Prime.
That was the build, by the way, guys, during the beta. The Reaper was super overpowered.
Oh, it was crazy. Didn't they nade the buildings or something? Wasn't it like they just destroyed buildings so fast?
They've
built
changed
quicker. The Reapers a lot.
They built quicker, and like the barracks built quicker, and it was crazy. It was that like you just couldn't stop it.
He has not made a Marine yet.
No, who needs him?
Yeah, I guess
eventually he's going to have enough grenades that he can one-shot hatcheries, and then it's really all over. Imagine one-shotting a hatchery with Reaper grenades.
Well, it's important to note that he actually hit the majority of the Reapers for a while inside of his base. Okay, now let's see what he can do. Now notice the patience. He doesn't throw too many nades down here.
That is a very easy force cancel. Now he is making a Marine. So...
Okay, the first unit that can hit air units is coming out.
Just in case any mutas come, he has a Marine now. Okay, lots of Roaches and Ravagers being created, so losira has somewhat stabilized here.
Oh, actually, getting these reactors is a pretty big deal. He didn't quite have the Reaper and the Marine up here to help defend.
That is super annoying. Those take a long time to build.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely cuts into Marine production quite a bit.
Now, the Ravager counterattack, this might be problematic because Reapers can run around and do fancy tricks all day, but if to have a head-to-head fight, especially against Roach Ravager, that's a very beefy army comp.
All right, a lot of grenades going down as everything climbs up this ramp. More and more grenades fall here as well. A lot of transfusions. It's buying a little bit of time, but it will not buy a victory against these.
+1 Reapers, man.
At the same time, though, there's a lot of Ravagers at the wall-in of Forte. So, you know, even if he ends up doing something here, the Ravagers might be able to win the game.
Well, this is what I was talking about. The Reapers are scary and can shave off a lot of units, but with this many Ravagers and Lings come up here, they're going to just destroy all the barracks, and that might actually be the end of the game.
Still a little bit more damage from these Reapers, but he can't really micro on both sides here.
Well, that's the problem, is he's trying to micro his little heart out over there inside the Zerg's base, but meanwhile, this army that can just basically sit on top of the barracks here is going to close this game out. And actually, losira is going to win this game in kind of a crazy turn of events.
Well, really it was a good counterattack, and there were so many Reapers made by Forte, but not seeing these come across the map.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think it's... again, it goes back to the thing we've been saying since, I guess, the start of, season... I guess the start of this year, actually. Nobody controls like Beyond. Nobody can do what Beyond does.
Yeah.
That's why whenever anybody complains about balance involving Reapers, I have to say, well, there's only one guy that really makes it look broken.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, they're just, it's a good build anyways. Like, there were very good things that Forte got done early on, like denying third bases. You go 3-Rax Reaper, and the third base is just not coming up for a while. He had some good grenades and stuff, but the fact that he went up to 5-Rax Reaper I found a little bit surprising. And, of course, just having no idea that the counterattack was coming there.
Yeah. Well, next map is Abyssal Reef. I think this is definitely a map that we can actually have 3-Rax Reaper again.
Definitely could. But then does he want to do that?
Yeah, but does Forte actually want to try that out? We've seen it with Mara, we've seen it with plenty of their Terran players where they flirt with the idea of going 3-Rax Reaper, then subsequently back away from it before the series is done. Saying, I might need to stick to what I know
That
best.
was pretty funny when he did that.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go to game number 2.
You could tell them that you tried, but there ain't no going back. They'll never catch me.
In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
Losira.
in the upper left, in the red, he is
Forte.
God, I love StarCraft music.
It's quite good. You know what's actually funny about you, though, is that you actually will play with the StarCraft music on.
Most of the time.
I usually
play with other music sometimes.
Yeah,
or no music
I either
sometimes.
play with no music or really, really good music that I listen to.
Well,
my taste is superb.
I legit love the StarCraft music, and as you know, walk down the aisle to the StarCraft 1 Terran theme.
That's right. I was there when the Tosis got married.
Yeah.
You did go down the aisle to the Terran music. That's right. I almost forgot about that.
I legit love this music.
Yeah.
So 3 Racks Reaper again. I have a prediction, Tasteless. Every game tonight for TVZ will be 3 Racks Reaper.
Marines are totally 2016, man.
Yeah. You know what we need to do?
They're so over.
We don't need to fix the Reaper. What we need is island maps. So that going through X Reaper doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then Beyond just floats his Raxes over and goes through X Reaper. I'm like, no!
Wow.
Then we make it so there's no landable terrain for the barracks. Then he just goes mass Reaper drops. Oh my god. He builds a land bridge out of depots over the water. No one's ever seen it.
It's the first island map with water. We discovered that Terran can make boats. I guess that made sense. They could make spaceships. They could probably make a craft that could traverse water as well.
Yeah. Water is not going to be as hard as space.
The real twist, though, is it's those Warcraft 2 boats or whatever that they're using.
And then Forte goes into Losira, rather. Goes into those turtles. Bombs them before they get through.
The sea turtles, man. Do you ever feel bad if you're a human player and you kill those orc sea turtle submarine things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does feel bad. Those animals didn't ask to do that.
No. They're endangered. They're for sure endangered.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to get this first. No, he's not. He's not going to get the first round. But the Reaper pressure is starting to mount. Oh! Does it get away? Oh, my God, and I heard it heals, too.
It's
okay,
crazy.
More Reapers coming down.
A lot of lings being made right now by Losira. We'll see if he can get us round on.
The very, very start of the game, it's so important on each side that you don't lose any of the units. Mm-hmm. Like, if you lose 1 or 2 Reapers, you completely have lost momentum. But if Zerg loses just a few drones, for instance, because Zerg has to make so many lings to stop this, losing a few drones at the start is pretty bad.
Certainly it is. Third command center. Or, sorry, rather, a natural command center on the way, crazy me. But he's had this down, so he did lose a couple SCVs. It's a little bit annoying there for Forte. A lot of lings going out onto the map. Does bring that depot up, so a ling counterattack probably not going to work out too well here. Now, we'll see what he can get done with the Reapers. He's given Losira quite some breathing time. Being out on the map, kind of re-rallying up. Ling's trying to get a flank going. I do like this move by Losira. If he can actually flank the Reapers against something, like where if they're jumping up, it's into Lings, that's really nice. He's looking for this, though.
Yeah, he's found him. Uh-oh.
Ooh, those were good grenades.
Oh, my God, those were really good grenades.
Wow.
That was quite a little fireworks show that we had over there. Okay. Yeah, that is one thing you want to keep in mind when you have the Reapers like that. If you split them up, isolated Reapers are pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, he's making 2 more racks, Artosis.
Yeah, he's the same exact build as last game.
I actually didn't think he was going to do this.
No, I didn't think
What if this game ends the exact same way with Ravagers walking in there?
Well,
it's Groundhog's Day esports.
That's when we really got to wonder what Forte's doing.
Okay.
Can he deny this third?
Okay, the pressure's on.
Good micro by Losira so far, by the way.
You do want to watch the queens here as much as you watch the lings, because occasionally if the Terran player does it right, he can bounce one of the queens towards him. And notice that some of these mines are preemptory. He basically lays it because if the player does decide to engage, he's going to have an unfavorable exchange. Okay, here we go.
Okay, let's see those grenades now.
We don't know what's going on. Oh, my God. What if there's a twist here? and Forte pulls off his skin mask, and it's Beyond again.
Oh
We have
my
to disqualify him.
Well, if Losira loses to this 0-2 from here, I think that everyone has to be on Losira Twitter alert. use Google Translate to see that salt.
Okay, more Reapers are coming in here. Now, note +1's about to finish. This feels so weird to say. I'm like, okay, +1 Reapers now.
Yeah.
The next part of the rush.
This is the important upgrade.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if someone figured out that armor was better for Reapers here, like +1
yeah.
armor rush here?
Okay, the Reapers come down now.
Oh. Anti-timing, though. If he had +1 there, it would have been even better. It just finishes
it's done.
at the end. Okay. Now, this is where the Queens really feel the pain.
Yeah, and
Oh,
you can see the
You
difference in
can
the damage.
actually,
you can feel it.
Well, we watch Reapers attack
You
things
can
so much.
taste it in the air.
You can taste the damage difference.
Yeah, look at that. What is like synchronized swimming going on here as the Reapers bounce and exchange locations?
Seriously.
Oh, he's actually beginning to drive him out.
Well, yeah, you didn't think he was going to lose those with +1 attack, did
No.
you?
He'll heal up. Okay, he's going to come back over here.
So he's going to have Reaper combat shields. This is where it gets to be like the new Legend of Zelda game, and they just surf on those shields like down the hill and stuff to get quicker.
The Reapers eventually get a boomerang and they can stun the queen.
It picks up the coins that are dropped by the Zerglings.
Yeah. Then he plays his lute or something and manages to go all the way into the main here. He's got the queens dancing to that Ocarina of Time dance and just shoots him and kills him. Okay, it seems like the rush has slowed down.
It does. He has a lot of Reapers left over here.
So where do these Reapers go, guys? What do they do? Can they adjust into the normal world of a standard StarCraft game?
Well, he's going to have some medevacs, so he could help him out like that. They're waiting for their +1 armor. There are Marines being made, though, so I guess he wants more damage output. Of course, the grenades, we have seen some crazy moves where grenades just bounce Banelings away.
Reapers moving around here on the side. I guess these can really, truly go uncontested.
How red do you think Losira's face is right now? It's like all his creep
How
gets
red do you
pushed
think
back.
his ears are? That's
Oh my
how mad he
gosh.
is. Red in the ears.
This is you really know you're upset.
I can't even imagine how frustrating this is to play against.
I can't.
Like, you can't. Okay, you're right, yeah. We actually can.
All right, Infestation pick coming up. Baneling speed as well, but he's going to be hitting before that Baneling speed with quite a few Marines with stim. They also have combat shields and +1, of course. That is a lot of creep being cleaned up as well.
Okay. This is the second part where the pressure begins to mount. It's going to be 1-1 Reapers and 1-1 Marines.
God, he's got almost every creep tumor at this point.
Look at this.
The Lings come over and hit the Marines, which means the Reapers can actually come in here once again.
Look at this Terran player. Just like, well, what if I don't lose any units? What about that?
Yeah. Baneling's trying to hit him, but they are slow right now, so no go there. Jump up into that main base.
This may be an overextension here.
Marines hitting the natural, though. He might be able to pick off a bunch of drones during all this. Sacrifice the Reapers for all these drone kills? That's good. That's quality.
Seven kills.
Good stuff. All right, Losira, this is not a place that I would like to play from, that is for sure. He's going up to Hive, but he really doesn't have anything that's too valuable at this point, right? He's got like Baneling speed. He's making an Infestor 2-2 on the way for his opponent before he can get that underway.
Well, most of the games actually today for Losira have just been these cliffhangers where he's barely surviving. He's just barely hanging on. Now, Losira has managed to do a perfectly fine job in the last game where, even though the Terran looked amazing at the start, Losira played the virtuous StarCraft game, getting the proper tech, and then coming in here and winning in a proper way at the end of the game.
Oh my god, that was a very nice surround there with the Lings, drawing a lot of the Widowmine hits into the Marines.
The pickup was late. Cartwheeling Marines flying up through the top of the level.
Everything getting erased right there, and even these Marines not going to be able to do anything to this fourth base. So Losira's starting to hold on. As soon as the Reapers are not just destroying everything. Oh, we better see like a fungal onto those mines, man. Those are about to reload.
Oh my god, oh, so close. Oh. Nice save.
Just gets it.
Okay, so Zerg is actually doing a great job of putting creep right there in the middle of the map, getting that connected immediately. Supply is 136 to 140, so right now they're pretty much even. But it does appear that Terran wants to push out once again. or at the bare minimum, I believe there's the 4th command center is being made adjacent to the where the 3rd command center is, and I think he's going to scoot that one down there to that lower expansion.
Yeah, it looks like that main CC is going to come
there
down.
it is.
So he's trying to get all manner of bases now. Ultralisk Cavern on the way for Losira. 2-2, though, is finishing, which means this is a great push time. He's going to have 3 fungal growths to help deal with this. So, I mean, you land a couple good fungal growths and roll your Banelings in, and that is going to really mess with the Terran's day.
Okay, the Banelings are coming down now. They've shaved off a decent amount of the Terran army. Now, I actually don't know. I don't think Terran should be pushing out. Yeah, look at this great interception here, killing off all the reinforcements. That's no longer really a push there for the Terran on the map. Oh, man, these Widowmine hits could be huge.
Ooh,
wow,
really,
allowing Terran
well
to really easily win that fight. That's too bad. He should have pulled back with those Zerglings.
Losira still trying to hold on, pushing everything back with his cleans. There's not that much bio over here, as he did get a lot of his units intercepted when they were trying to come across the map. Ultra's on the way.
It looks like there's another group of Lings that will once again intercept this. This is a great play here by Losira.
Losira just keeps doing this. He's like, I know where you are rallying from, and I'm going to kill everything because of that.
Has the Terran gotten to the point? I think Terran actually can break him. I stand corrected. I think Losira was not quite micromanaging over there. He was not quite multitasking enough.
He's got that +2 carapace that's going to be finishing up, but it is 2-2 for his opponent. The Ultras are going to be popping out, but more and more Liberators coming down. Now, look at this kind of crazy Liberator zone area. This is so hard to engage into. This is part of the reason why a lot of the Zergs that we've seen lately this season have been expanding to across the bottom of the map or the top of their top left, rather than these more old-school locations.
Is he going to actually get the hatch? Okay, Ultras are finally out.
There's a lot of Liberators, though.
You know what? I think that Zerg sometimes just doesn't have enough. In each a little engage, Terran comes out a little bit more ahead. And I think we're starting to see it snowball right now. It's actually just Queens and then like just a handful of Lings and like one Ultra.
Yeah. He's having a super hard time. And look at the Liberator zones overlapping. Like, you walk in there and your Ultra is just dying no matter what. Doesn't matter how many transfuses you have if 4 Liberators are attacking him.
I like the idea of the infested Terrans, but I'm not sure. I think it's just too late. Yeah, in fact, he doesn't even get that last Liberator.
Ouch.
We should be going to game number 3 here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the macro of Losira is pretty good, and he just keeps having more units come in, but the cost efficiency of Forte and how many bases he has, that even if you clean this up, it's like, I just think that there is enough for Forte that he should still be feeling good. Oh my god, he gets the Overseer there, so the Widowmine can't be killed.
So crazy, yeah. All right, we have a... Okay, this is actually a mistake, though, by Losira. I do not think he should be counterattacking. He's going to lose these Ultras. Yeah, this is just... You just can't do that. I'm like, no, you know what? No. He's disqualified. You can't do that.
Don't just give him your Ultras. Come on.
I think he needs to stay back. But basically, Zerg needs to stay back and recuperate and try to fish Terran into overextending.
Yeah. Well, Terran has such an economy right now that this is becoming very, very tough. Like, obviously, Fungal Baneling Ultra is something that can become very cost-efficient and maybe still give him a shot, but... Yeah, this is with 3-3 finishing up in this many mining bases. Look at this, 73 SCVs. How often do you see 73 SCVs? Look at the supply difference, 112
to 175.
Ooh,
Terran just regroups and I think is going to come in here and Hulk smash the Zerg right as 3-3 finishes.
Yeah. Does seem that way. Perfect time to walk in and clear everything out that you can. But we'll see whether the Fungals land. Like, you get a couple good Fungals, your Ultra's on top of that, not too many Liberators. Things can start to go your way.
Okay, coming through now. I actually don't believe that Forte is fully aware of how ahead he is. I think he thinks that Zerg might be close to being maxed out like he is, but in fact Zerg is way low. Because you can see he's orbiting around the outside of the Zerg's base and taking out creep tumors, but in fact Zerg is basically just dead.
Well, it's either that or he's just trying not to screw up, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's totally fine. I'm under the suspicion that, especially in games that are very back and forth like this, sometimes it's hard to tell.
Oh, very true. It can be very difficult indeed. But Losira just GG's it, and that gives us a game number 3 here.
Cool.
Losira has to be frustrated with these 3-Rax Reaper plays. Are we going to see another one in game number 3?
Yes, we are, Artosis. Get ready.
I would say if it's Proxima, we won't see him do it, and if it's a different map, we probably will. Let's see. Is it Newkirk?
Newkirk,
I mean, that's a fine map for a 3-Rax Reaper.
Interestingly enough, though, Forte can neither close a game with just 3-Rax Reaper or at times stop a full-on counterattack, at least from what we've seen.
Yeah. Does losira mix it up here?
By the way, if losira wins here and then beats Beyond, he's gotten his revenge on that unit. He's overcome the ultimate challenge.
It would be so impressive if losira gets out of this group at this point. Like, the thing is, if Stats was waiting for him, I'd be like, okay, you have a decent shot here, right? But Beyond has shown that his 3x Reaper play is on another level. So if losira is dying even to Forte's, does he have a shot if he wins this match?
Okay. Looks like we have at least one game visitation rights at Newkirk Precinct, Artosis.
Right.
Let's get this going. losira versus Forte. Whoever loses is out of this season of the GSL Code S.
You can ride, you can fly, you can tell them that you tried, but there ain't no going back. They'll never catch me.
In the bottom left, in the blue, he is
Losira.
Oh, I'm doing my precast stretches here.
I see that, yeah.
In the bottom right.
Are your hamstrings made out of steel cable?
Absolutely they are.
It seems that way with those stretches. Oh my gosh.
So
mine are made out of bungee cords that are already fully extended. They're just pulling on me, trying to make me crumple into a ball.
Oh, you're funny. All right, so I'm going to hey, pay attention. 3x Reaper.
Hey, it's a bot.
Get out your build order notebooks. Okay.
Wow.
No lounging in the hot seat.
That's what happens. They're so comfortable chairs. You're like almost laying down in them.
I mean, let's face it, guys. We all know that standing's really bad for you. So. Humans were not made to stand and walk around at all. They're made to sit in computer chairs. So
this is why there's such a short
zone.
life expectancy for cavemen. It's not the saber-toothed tigers.
Cavemen died.
It's that they had to walk around so much.
Yeah, they were walking so much that it basically killed them.
Yeah. They didn't even have any like DX racer chairs back then. Like,
no.
Oh man,
their chairs didn't have wheels back then. Those idiots.
How did they get around?
And I heard that they played on dial-up.
Oh my god, that's awful.
So, 3x Reaper.
Well, at least they didn't have to deal with Comcast back then. The #1 service provider was
Ugh. Well, when we're all extinct and the aliens come down to pick up the logs of the GSL, and they discover that about 2030, Comcast basically ruined. Net neutrality was passed or whatever.
Yeah.
I always get it confused. Which one's the one that we're all supposed to be for? Is it for or against net neutrality? Which one's the shitty bill that we're supposed to be against?
We're for net neutrality, right?
Right. Well, there's like one of the bills that's like the bad one that's going to ruin the internet.
Internet freedom bill.
Yeah, it's like that one.
I'm an old politician and I don't care about happiness or fairness.
I'm going to come take my guns. But okay, yeah. That's anyway. Sorry, in this game, I'm getting totally derailed.
It's 3x Reaper.
3x Reaper.
But losira this game opened up with gas and pool first, right? So he's going to have speed a hell of a lot faster, and if that can translate into catching the initial Reapers, he can definitely get a big edge.
Well, again, Forte doing this Reaper build, we have to watch and make sure he doesn't lose any of the Reapers early on, because it completely slows down any progress.
Speed is done. If he can catch these coming up the ramp, that is a huge moment.
What are you doing? You're so crazy, Forte! He needs more nades put down.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Loses 2. Can he lose a third?
Is pissed.
Loses a third there.
He's coming up. Dun, 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 dun. Taking one for the team.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
Well,
I think losira's basically done it.
Yeah, he's held enough here. This is not going to look nearly as tough as it was in the previous games. Good splitting here by losira. Chasing out 6 Reapers, losing just 6 lanes and 2 drones.
I think he can actually win from
quality.
From here. Yeah, he did it.
Actually,
taking
the
out
whole
these
audience just
scumbag.
cheered and clapped.
Everybody's clapping. Taking down these scumbag Reaper players.
Yeah.
Terran players are like, well, they're just good units, man. This is my job. I want to win. We're like, no! How dare you?
It makes me unhappy.
How dare you, 3x Reaper?
How dare you make Zergs look that they can't do anything?
Well, he's going to have to turtle now with 3x Reaper, but he's not stopping, guys. He's turned it up to 11 and torn off the knob. He's getting 2 more barracks.
Ooh, an additional
plus,
gas and
yeah.
Roach Warren? I think we're going to see a bunch of Ravagers pop out.
I
You
think
might just
you're
try
right.
to end it before you really have upgrades here, right? You don't have Stim or Combat Shields or Marauders or anything like that. I mean, Ravagers can just kind of outdo everything.
Beyond's watching this right now with his special Reaper Abacus, taking certain calculations out, figuring out the exact movements of Lucira's Lings.
You ever seen someone that's like a pro with an Abacus use one? Like, you ever see a video of that?
Oh, you like in China? Those
Yeah.
guys that do that? Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Well, wherever there is someone that uses an Abacus like greatly, and that's Beyond with Reapers. Just calculating everything.
Supposedly, if you're really good with an Abacus, it's faster than a calculator. Is that correct?
Well,
No.
I guess it would really matter what you're doing, right? Like, if I have a graphing calculator, I guarantee you I can figure out some things quicker than a team of people with abacuses.
I heard that somewhere, but I'm probably wrong. I know nothing about abaci, if you will.
Abaci.
Yeah. So we have the Roaches coming out here. Now, the big burden that the Terran player has to face if you do go for Reapers is that Reapers are great at like running around and harassing stuff and assassinating certain units, but you can't normally hold your ground with Reapers. Reapers need space.
Yes, they do.
To abuse. And think about Roach Ravager is they're kind of the antithesis of the Reaper. They're these big, beefy units that can show up and absolutely occupy a space. And that's where we may see a problem occurring here when they come up. I did not expect these Lings to come in here this early like that.
Yeah.
I think he should have saved that.
Like, this might have been just to draw the Reapers as far back as possible, but I want to see the Lings come in and flank the Reapers, because the Reapers have to micro back across the map against these Ravagers heavily, but the Ravagers are going in such a direction that the Reapers don't see them coming, and this might look exactly like Game 1. Forte does not know this is coming.
Okay, he's coming up now, but there might be enough to defend. We'll have to see. I think he can basically zone him back.
Well, even if he does some damage, like, there's not enough to defend this many Ravagers at
Okay.
Forte's home.
He needs to go get that tech lab like yesterday, man. Here we go. Yeah,
right,
he's
well.
going to come in now. Oh, he's even lowering the gates.
Come in, please.
Come at me, bro. I think that's game. I think he did it.
Yeah, this like exactly like Game 1
This
as well.
is some Zerk justice right here. Nerds are having tears of joy come down here. Then we find out Lucira's become so good with the Ravagers, he's able to predict Reaper movement and hit them preemptively.
Oh my god. Look
Now-
at that. That is a lot of biles going on. 13 SCVs falling.
Okay,
here.
that actually went a lot better than I thought it was. I thought that the game immediately ended because Stim wasn't there. He still might be able to get in, but that was pretty good with those grenades.
There's a lot of units being made. I think that between the Lings, like just going up front and hitting everything, and then biles towards the back, this makes it so hard.
Yeah. Actually, the Biles are being pretty well positioned here to force the Terran to actually hold his ground.
Oh, some
But-
good micro there by Forte, though, moving forward.
Okay, something's not right about this. The way these engages are going,
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, am I wrong about this? I felt like Lucira could have actually come in there and done a little bit more damage. You know, one of the things that I'm still trying to get used to when I cast these games is that to understand where the nades can go and what you can do with them.
It's really difficult. Like, well, it matters on who's playing, of course, as we've been saying so often.
I guess the thing as well is that we have Reapers with +1 attack, which I'm just not used to
they definitely do
factoring
chunk.
that into my brain when I see this style of play.
They chunk a lot better with that +1, of course. And a lot of Ravagers still being made. That third base finally being taken here for Losira. And you know, he's got like a drone lead, for instance, and a decent amount of units, but he's not high tech right now. And
That's true.
don't forget, there's
It's a
3
bit
command
stagnant.
centers for Forte. So even though he lost like 20 SCVs plus, with 3 command centers, you're dropping lots of mules. He's still on 2 bases, so his economy is actually okay, even though it's not like optimal.
Well, I believe that Lucira has actually decided to completely back off of trying to end this game with the Ravager Zergling.
You know what I kind of feel bad for Losira here is Bjorn is watching this, and he's not even thinking about what to do if he has to face Losira, because he's seen Losira fight against Reaper all day, and Bjorn
Yeah.
will do it better than what we see from Forte, right? And he's having a hard time against Forte, even when Forte doesn't know that like 10 Ravagers are about to attack him. So Bjorn right now is probably just sitting there thinking about TVT builds. Realistically, because I think Bjorn is looking at this 100% certain that if Losira wins, he can take him.
Oh, I agree with you completely, Artosis.
Which is, like, pains me to say because Losira's...
Oh, my God. He just didn't catch any of them. Wow. That's unfortunate. He invested a lot into those Reapers. Reapers, like Mutalisks, are just these units that if you can just keep using them during the game, you get incremental more value constantly.
Over time, they are active units, putting quite a bit of money and build time into them. Now, third base has been taken by Forte, going for his 2-2 upgrades, or is that 2-1? That's 2-2. Okay, so he's going for 2-2. 1-1 not quite done yet here for losira, but it will be pretty soon. And I do like that losira is staying on this Roach tech. It'll kind of give him a little bit more muscle to fight with. And look where he's taking his fourth. That's kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, I'm a little bit curious about why he would take that fourth base besides the other 2 fourth bases that seem to be more logical. That one seems to be a bit removed. Maybe he's just assuming the Terran's going to try to scan there or something?
I think it's like the harassment of going from the main to the third that's a pocket, like right outside the natural, is a little bit difficult for him maybe because he is on Roach Ravager. Just a guess, but anyways, Hydroless Den on the way here. Definitely a style losira likes.
Keep in mind with these 2 medevacs here, Terran does not want to lose any of that. That's really most of what the Terran's army is at this point in time.
Nice little liberation zone there. Getting a couple drones and causing some lost mining time.
The problem for Zerg, excuse me, when they go for Roach Ravager is that really they can continue to be abused by medevacs whenever the Terran sees an opportunity. Like Corrosive Bile really doesn't do anything to medevacs, to be totally honest.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to hit them. That's kind of a rare thing that we go, whoa, if you actually hit medevacs, and that's generally the Terran not looking at that point in a great prediction shot.
So Terran is slowly ebbing away the life at that fourth base, which is not, by the way, mining just yet. So it's still basically a 3... Oh, no, I'm sorry. It is mining. I guess he just sent those drones over there. But it was 3 base versus 3 base a moment ago.
Sees a Hydra out here, very aware of what type of unit composition is going to be used.
Gets that one Hydra. Now, if he gets enough Hydras, there's a chance that we see this game seesaw in action over to the Terran side of the map, since Zerg's going to have basically a battle Zerg setup where he can really pick a fight wherever he wants to go, and Terran has to put up with it.
Yeah, a really strong set of units, but Forte is teching up a little bit now. He's going for Liberators, he's making a Siege Tank. I'm sure he'll continue on that Siege Tank route. That's definitely going to be a very powerful and important unit for him here. But losira, generally, when he goes for this style, does like to get up to Hive and add in Vipers and Ultras. We'll see if he's able to do that at some point. This has been kind of a crazy game, so his economy is not exactly where it would be with a more standard opening.
By the way, this has to be just an exhausting day here for losira.
Oh, he's actually going into a Lurker Den.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't fully expecting that.
No,
but
me neither, to be honest. I'm a little bit caught off guard.
Yeah, we've only really seen... what's his face? Solar utilize this style well during the Super Tournament.
Solar's got his own style completely and totally different from any other Zerg there is. So
yeah, he's the Hydralisk champion.
Yeah. There's a drop coming in here through the top. Let's see if Zerg can actually catch it. Okay, no, he actually has turned around now.
He's got no vision of this area really at all right now, so that's kind of good for Forte.
He needs to have Overlords over the adjacent areas where their Marines basically can't land to hit anything. Because, yeah, the map is a pretty dark, scary place right now for losira. If he's not ready, these drops are going to become so abusive. Needs to go for that medevac. Ooh, oh, my God.
Very, very strong move. And this is one very good way to play against these ground-based armies.
Yeah.
losira really not having an optimum split of his army here to prevent things like this from occurring. But that pickoff was great. Now, I feel like from here, though, Forte has to be careful, because if he just wastes an army, he's absolutely going to lose here. Just take it slow, push in.
Now, this, even though Terran's doing a great job, this can be a little bit risky. The Zerg is generally going to be pretty okay with a big fight here. The angling, by the way, for the Zerg, it's almost 360 degrees.
Oh my God, so many Hydras coming down. He is going to be able to easily take this all out. In fact, pick out some medevacs on the way down.
Okay, however, the harass still remains over here in that back base. Another drop over here as well. Getting the Lurker Den.
Ooh, he might even be able to get a kill on that. A lot of units are running over. Not really targeting anything here is Forte, so that will get cleaned up without too much damage.
Okay, nicely done. Now, can Zerg try to actually start to hit these other bases? It's 130 supply to 181, so Terran lost a lot. And basically had to start over from scratch here. But I will say Terran's got a much better economy going here. I guess that expansion in the upper left is not going to be retaken. But we finally have those lurkers that the losira was trying to build up to. So I think this is going to be the moment where he feels like he can be activated on the map.
Well, he's got control in a lot of ways right now. The one good thing for Forte is he has his 3-3 finishing, and he has taken a 4th base. But as far as muscle goes, losira absolutely has it here.
There's so many Hydras in this army. Okay, here we go. The lurkers are burrowing down here, and actually this is hitting so hard. Going right up to where the Marines are. Can he bust through, though? The Marines now going on top of the lurkers.
Oh, my God. That's actually a big issue. Those lurker spines worth so much. That was definitely a mistake from Forte. He didn't realize what was going on. Because,
I think he didn't see it.
Yeah, when he was back just in front of Seachanks, he started to massacre that army. But when he stemmed forward with just Marines against lurker and everything else, oh, God, did it go wrong.
Okay, so now the supply has been changed to 118 to 145. Losira is still in the lead here. But I don't know if Terran can counter-push for a little bit. Terran's going to have to rely on harass to try to slow the Zerg down, and I think he should be okay. Having this many Hydras with enough creep connected means you usually can come in here and actually shut down these drops.
All right, little drop here at the, I guess we call this the 5th base, even though it's normally the 3rd.
Normally the 3rd.
Yeah, the Vipers being out definitely is super, super helpful. Blinding Cloud so strong with this comp, and even Abduct can be really quite useful. So we'll see how he goes ahead and utilizes that. Still a few lurkers mixed in here. Definitely saving him back in that last fight. And Forte only really making bio right now.
Do you think
it's a little bit scary against
Would it be viable to do a Nidus Worm into the main of the Terran? Is that...
Oh, that's actually a really good idea.
Because I just feel like with the planetary setup and the tanks, like you could you could try to Hulk smash your way through the front, or you could just go, especially with just a few lurkers.
In fact,
if you put him at the ramp or something, and Terran just had to try to get up there and save his main.
Well, you are completely correct.
Should I become a pro gamer? Should I go back?
I think your wrist is the only thing stopping you from winning GSL.
That's right.
It's the only thing.
That's right.
These foreign pros are so lucky Tasteless is not traveling around the world WCS.
They are so lucky.
In fact, I think they did it to your wrist.
Game. Oh, no doubt they did.
They planted something. I don't know how you would do this to someone's wrist. But no, you're quite right. And if I recall correctly, didn't Solar do that some during Super Tournament when he was bashing all the good Terrans?
Well,
like, because you do have all the Seachanks in the front, so a Nidus in the back, even just one time, is going to wipe out so much.
I don't think you need that many lurkers to do that, too. You can put, like, 1 or 2 lurkers at the ramp, but it's just really hard for Terran to get to.
Yeah, and literally, I think it was against Maru. He did that and, like, won a game off of it on Daybreak, if I'm remembering this correctly now. So, and this is his style kind of lurker Hydra.
Suddenly Forte is just everywhere, and we don't see responses from on our screen. We see no response really from losira.
No, losing a hatcher right there, very brutal indeed. Oh god, not really targeting anything here.
No, he's going to lose a queen here too.
Yeah, that medevac will be taken out luckily, but 19 drones going down as well as a hatchery is very, very painful. Now, if he gets up into Broodlords, he doesn't have the greatest gas bank at the moment to do this, but Broodlords counter Seachanks super hard, and again, we have to give shout-outs to Solar, who kind of invented this style against Terran, and that is like how he countered Seachanks. You get a lot of Seachanks, and that will wreck Hydra Lurker, but then suddenly you have Broodlords, and that just beats everything that Terran has at that point.
We saw the armies almost clash in the middle. By the way, the Roach Warren has been shut down. We're going to have to see that remade here. Zerg's not at that Broodlord tech just yet. Okay, no, Zerg does not want to do this.
All right. I mean, a pretty good abduct right there, I guess.
Just harpooning the medevac in there.
Yeah, anything he can abduct is quite useful. He actually loses a fair amount doing this, but picking off the high-tech units that actually can trade more efficiently against this is cool.
I believe we're getting to the climax here.
Yes.
I think Terran might just have enough.
Well, he has a lot of bases. His macro has been really on point,
Yeah, Terran might bust the Zerg down right before the Zerg can get that Broodlord tech. We see the Corruptors coming out. Oh!
Those blinding clouds were just cash money.
Yeah, that was so well done. And but will he be able to curb the damage that's happening to the hatchery here?
It's a little bit tough. As the Seachanks siege up, he has to back out.
He might be able to sack the hatchery here and then just try to come back later on. But look at this.
Oh,
Forte wants blood.
Canceling off the few Broodlords that were being made. Not too many medevacs left over because he did yank a bunch of those away.
Oh, I don't know what's going on here. But there are roaches down here, and we don't know why.
Looks like they want to counterattack and doing a reasonable job of it, stopping some of the reinforcements. If he can just slow Forte down a bit, don't forget he's making Broodlords, and Broodlords against this type of army, as long as you have some Roach Hydra to sit under them, is super hard to kill. Look, he's trying to add some starports.
That was great to take out the add-ons there.
Like, now the Viking production is going to be way stunted, which means that these Broodlords can give back control to losira. This is a crazy game.
Okay, hitting the roaches up here. Oh, I guess there's just barely enough roaches. That actually became an even exchange.
Yeah. Marauders want to have a word with you, Tasis.
All right, one Broodlord. Broodtosis over there. With his tastelings firing out.
His tastelings.
Yeah. Okay. He's starting to get a critical mass of Broodlords, which means he can push. But you have to keep in mind, the way that you can play when your opponent's going for Broodlords is a lot like when they just have Roach Ravager. You can keep dropping.
Yeah,
you just don't engage the Broodlords and attack elsewhere.
With the Hydras and a few Vipers, if he starts to lose too many of these, then there's going to be a sudden push from losira that can kill him. But he's making 5 Vikings at a time, so if he can just buy time with these little drops, like this drop isn't doing that much. It's annoying, and it's keeping losira back. Those are the important aspects of what he's doing here.
It's forcing losira to respect. Oh, nice. It's forcing him to respect the tech his opponent has here.
It's getting him out of position as well. He's going to lose
this hatchery
before anything can be done.
Okay. Actually,
quite a nice spiny cloud.
It's got 7 HP. There's still hope, Artosis. Okay, he's coming forward now. Oh my God, the hatch lives.
Yeah.
Sick. That was a weird harpoon, though. He did actually pull forward the Viking.
It'd be funny if he like harpooned a siege tank and then it finishes the hatch. It's like, oh no.
I don't think he has all the right material here.
He might
to
not
actually hold this.
That is a hell of a lot of Hydras, so definitely a lot of damage being done, but not quite enough Broods.
Terran just has it up, so we're going to be going into a TVT because losira is momentarily going to be tapping out of this game. There it is, GG.
All right. You know, well done by Forte. That was definitely a knockdown, drag-out game to finish it off there. And it's kind of sad day here for losira. Just played against 3-Axe Reaper over and over and over and had a very hard time of it. And even this game, it looked like he might be able to win with that same Ravager attack as game 1, but unable to do so. And I think he's just going to kind of remain a bit frustrated. He's been talking about getting revenge on all these top players. He keeps hitting them and then ending up losing, going down. And
losira is basically in arrested development as far as his StarCraft 2 skill's been. I feel for the guy. Forte has a TVT now. I'm glad we get to see a TVT.
Yeah,
I'm really curious to see how Beyond's going to play that in the current meta. We'll be back after the short break with our final match in today's GSL Codex.